For some reason, I had to do a part two because it stopped for some. I think it paused, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna have to do a part two. So yeah, so get into this. Easy E, like I said, Ruthless Records. So he was such a smart businessman, like I said before. Like look at the artists he had under him. JJ Fad, dope female hip hop group, dope shit. Supersonic, DOC, Michelle A, Feel Like Fresh Crew, which was DOC's crew that he came under. Yomo Moki. They only had like one album that came out in '91. The song For the Love of Money that Bone Thugs ended up using for the Creeping on the Come Up. But that was Yomo Moki's songs first. Yeah, Cocaine. Terry B, the first white female rapper. Eazy did that. Jimmy Z, he was like a blues artist. Like he was like for his harmonica and stuff like that. That was on the Ruthless Records. I think it was like he infused like hip hop and then his music that he usually does. Above the Law, shout out to them. Panel's Players Click, or Player Ham, that's DJ Quick's peoples and shit like that. At Band Clan, which ended up becoming Black Eyed Peas. HWA, Hoes with Attitudes, Menage a Trois, dope female group, duo, hip hop duo, excuse me. They have an album called Childlicious, which I need to get my hands on, but that shit go for a lot of money. Blood of Abraham, uh, um, uh, a Jewish hip hop duo from LA. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Brownside, recipes to Brownside. Toka, Danger, all them cats. And that's another thing too. Like Easy had ties, like he had mad love for like the Chicano community in LA. They embraced Easy like nothing, and that's big because at that time the Mexican community and the black community over there, um, they didn't like each other. They hated each other. Not hate, but yeah, they hated. They didn't like each other. That's what it was. It was like on some racism shit. Um, Frost, Kid Frost. There was a time he put out two albums. He put out The Smile Later, Die Later, and then the When Hell A Freezes Over. Those two albums. Um, King T at one point, but that was like later on, and then Hobson and Steve Stone. I don't know who that is. But you see, that's what I'm. They don't talk. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the positive parts that that happened with NWA. All this good music. They just focus on the subject matter. You guys don't get mad at the reporters for reporting the news, right? I don't get mad at them. Or let alone, like, I'll take even deep. These white boys that go to hoods doing hood pranks, going to the hoods and pranking people from the hood. Like, why would you do that? Like you exploiting people like that. That's fucked up. Or these people going to these tourists going to Marcy projects, and oh, this is where Jay Z grew up. Blah blah blah. Going to Queensbridge. People live there. I don't see people going to like where all these executives where they grew up and going to their houses. We don't do that. They don't do that to them. All right. Now we're gonna get into like the whole people, gangster rap, disrespecting women. That bullshit. Okay. You might have heard something called groupies, right? Groupies. You guys know what groupies are. They're hoes, pretty much. Hoes for like, artists, going around tour, trying to hang out with them to get any type of gains, whether it's sexual gains, money, anything like that. That's groupies. Guess what? That came from rock artists. You know who started that? Rolling Stones. That started with them. In fact, I think Bill Wyman, who I think was the drummer, they said they gave him credit for making up the word groupie. That was his code word for women on tour that try to be on their dick and shit like that. And guess what? You know what's deeper? They have a magazine called the Rolling Stone. But NWA is the cause of destruction for our children and our culture. Yeah. And all these rock artists, and I love all these rock artists, but again, they were no better either because you had the likes of Ozzy Osbourne biting off heads of chickens and bats or whatever the case may be. All these, all of them are a lot of them are drug addicts, and nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. But I love all that music. But let's not just put that on NWA because again, that all that shit happened before NWA. On top of that, I don't know. They were broke. It wasn't like they were making money like that. Again, they were making money in McCullough Records. So you would have to have somebody to back you up with money, which would be the record labels. So you need to blame the record labels for promoting that shit if that's the case. They're businessmen. They're here to make money. So miss me with all that shit. And that's it. That's all I have to say. So special ed, shout out to you, but you're wrong on this one. Um, all you niggas that keep saying that, see Dolores Tucker are right, y'all dumb as fuck. And these are the same people that were talking shit about niggas for life. Nigga, it's entertainment, man. Like, bro, like, y'all act like, and then that's nothing too. Like, a lot of these artists like Special Ed and Kid and Play and all that shit, they were talking about getting pussy. And then we was doing the same thing. If anything, a bitch is a bitch. And yo, Ice Cube was breaking down, he's not saying all women are bitches. It's these women that just try to go for niggas, that have money for pretty much being a hoe, being a groupie. So what's the difference? He's just breaking that down. That's what happened. Ice-T. I'll bring up Ice-T. He gets a lot of flack for his music. He had a single off his third album, Freedom of Speech, Watch What You Say. Very underrated album. Came out in 89. He had a song called Lethal Weapon. When you think of Lethal Weapon, you're thinking about a gun. What he's talking about, he's actually talking about the mind. The mind's the lethal weapon. The mind's the lethal weapon. The fact that people can't control your mind. Can't take that. You can't take away anything from your mind. That's what he's talking about. That's what makes it lethal. And on top of that, you got R&B now that, that promotes cheating, infidelity. Nobody talks about, there's no uproar in that. Where's all these fucking black nationalists or these black civil right activists talking about the women now, like with these R&B acts, and the stripper club rap with Cardi B and Sexy Red and Ice Spice and all that shit. Where's outrage for that? But they're not destruction for our children. And then you see little girls twerking. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. And then pushing certain agendas. I'm not gonna say what, but they put certain agendas to children. But that's not a destruction to our communities and culture and all that shit. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, y'all. Oh, man, come on. One more thing. Ice Cube. Ice Cube. How could I forget Ice Cube? I can't discredit Ice Cube. Ice Cube. His first album, America's Most Wanted. Got with Chuck D and Bomb Squad. If he was so negative, you guys know they wouldn't fuck with Ice Cube. Because you guys know that Public Enemy was like, they were like the black nationalists, that kind of thing. Black empowerment, that kind of thing. So they got with Ice Cube. They had a song called Burn Hollywood Burn off the Fear of the Black Planet album. Where he talked about how Hollywood, they would only promote like negative shit. They were about black people. You know what I'm saying? About, movies like Colors and all this gangster shit. Promote that on and they just think that they make it seem like that all black people are animals. They talked about that on that song. This is 1990. And then on Ice Cube, the song Who's the Mac, where he talks about how there's dudes out there that are master manipulators towards women. You got the pimps, you got the you got the playboys, you got the who are master manipulators and all that shit. He talks about that. He talks about that to watch out. I feel like that's awareness, in my opinion. Even though he's a gangster rapper, that's awareness. That's making people aware of what's going on, what to watch out for. Okay. He had a song called "My Summer Vacation," where it actually explains how the Bloods and Crips migrated to different parts of the state, mostly to the Midwest, and then towards like the mid to late '90s is when it spread it out, in the East Coast. But this is 1991, so he's talking about what was going on at the time, where the Bloods and Crips were going to different parts of the country, the Midwest, like I mentioned before, to set up shop, and that was happening. And that was Ice Cube in his bag too. He could never make another Lethal Injection. He could never make another Death Certificate. He could never make an album like that ever again. Never. Because he's corporate now, so you can't do that now. So, yeah. I could go on and on. But yeah, that's it. So this is my part 2 to that, because I don't know why. I think I pressed pause and then yeah. So I had to make a part 2. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Please keep it positive. Or if you disagree, that's fine. But keep it respectful. That's what I meant to say. That's it, folks. I just had to say what I had to say. All right.